It's the JC Penney back to school sale. Cause when you gotta go to school, you gotta go. So go in style to the head of the class. In sweater vests, 25% off. The point is you gotta go shop. And you gotta have these sneaks to pass the test. So hurry up and don't be slow. Cause when you gotta go to school, you gotta go.
KSWV Radio Shockwave out of San Diego, California, where we play you, and you're listening to Casual Fridays with Dan. I am your host, Miami Dan, and wow, we have an amazing show for you today. We just played some new music for you earlier. That first song was the brand new song from Outrunner. Yes, the amazing, awesome Outrunner. And just recently just dropped that track today, and it's it's already taken off like gangbusters, so you don't want to miss that track. Interstellar Pathways, you want to get that, so definitely check that out. Oh, Memory Design said we're doubled up on the sound. Yeah, we definitely don't want that, so let's get that back. How is that? Does that sound better? There we go. Okay, yeah, we're going to have to adjust things because today is a little bit of a different day. It's not just me today. We are joined by another amazing radio podcaster, host, however you want to call them. I don't know. Who knows what we're all called these days? DJs, VJs. I remember DJs and VJs from back in the day, back in the good old MTV days, of course. I'm old, so it kind of happens that way when you are an 80s baby. So, or for me anyway, a 1979 baby. So, but I'm going to welcome to the show Heartbeat Hero. Hey, so. Yeah, a little more casual here, a little more laid back. I here dripping my old man tea. Yeah, we're on the screen. So I'm gonna show off my cool. Yeah, he he's representing everybody. Look a Heartbeat Hero. So I'm showing off my cool mug that my wife bought for me. So it is a Game Boy mug that gets, as you put hot liquid in it, this turns to the start screen of Super Mario Brothers, and then when you flip it over on the other screen, it says, "Congratulations, you have rescued the princess." So it's the beginning and the ending. So, and of course the screen goes off once it cools down. So, how are you today, my friend? Same. Yeah, yeah. That chill wave collaboration is really nice. I like doing a little bit of the chill wave stuff. So they say they can't hear you. Yeah. Yeah, they can't hear you, but they should be able to hear you because. No, hang on.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now? I can hear you. So they're saying they can't hear Heartbeat Hero, which would be me. All right, we're gonna test. Yeah, it's working? Okay, awesome. All right, let's promote it again. RetroSynth Records, there we go. Awesome T-shirt.
Sorry, that's just the way it's gonna have to be. You're gonna get me double or nothing. There is no other
That's
way around
weird.
it. Yeah. So it's because of OBS. So
Uh-huh.
there's gonna be a little echo in my voice. That's okay. I can sound very Barry Manilowish and sexy and stuff. I don't know. Try to make the best out of a bad situation, right? Right. As memory does assign, live radio. Yes, it is live radio, and we are live on KSWV Radio Shockwave as well as on the live YouTube live stream. So be sure to check us out if you're listening over on KSWV. By all means, keep listening over there. Come over to YouTube, mute the audio, and that way you can listen along with us and you can see what we're doing and interact with Heartbeat Hero and I today. So we are going to, let's see, I want to get into some new tracks, and then you and I are going to have a little discussion. So we just played that one by Interstellar Pathways, but I have another new song that was released today by our very own Alexar. So we're going to play Framing by Alexar.
Cool. Hang in frame.
Okay, so I'm going to bring back in our guest, Heartbeat Hero. So,
Hello.
question for you, sir.
Yes.
Since now I get to interview you.
Yeah, I'm going to hold myself back. It's hard.
Hey, man, it's casual. It's very casual. I'm drinking my tea, man.
Let's just have a sip of drink. We'll do some ASMR here. It's like 7-Up coming out of my nose from the laughter.
Right, exactly. So, okay, so I got to ask the question. What got you started into doing your own show?
So I started making synthwave in 2017. I got elected for like a top 10 thing from Drive, I think. They had like this top 10 list they did every a week, I think. And one of my tracks finally, after 10 years of posting to Spotify, it got hooked on there. And then that led me into the synthwave scene, which got me onto a few shows, but I was releasing so much I needed a platform to release every month.
Okay.
So I thought, let's start my own
Do your
show.
own thing, right? Yeah. I guess that would do it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of did it because of the gatekeeping that was currently in the scene. So,
Mm,
like you, I was on a couple different interviews and shows. Car and Zoe Lee was always very warm and welcoming to me.
yeah.
Very good friend. She works a little bit, with RetroSynth Records and of course with Night Ride, our friends and partners. Um, but yeah, it was kind of hard to like get anything going all over the place. So that's when I had to start forming a relationship with the amazing Luna Coverdale, and then we got the KSWV thing going, and here we are, like almost 2 years later now, with this cool little show I have, and then it blossomed into two shows, and sometimes it's freestyle a little bit, but yeah, it's great to do this, and then still have support of everybody else, so it's great. I'm looking at so. Okay, we have Rocco Destros in the chat. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That is awesome. Thank you for being here. There's a bunch of people in this chat. Memory Design, Dream Pocket, Pac-Man's here. Nicholas Rickson's here. Maya Camera's here. Bending Grid is here. Dream Pocket, yeah. So, yeah, guys, I apologize for the echo. It is part of the setup here. This is the first time that I'm having a live video feed plugged into everything I have going on here. So, in order to make everything work so that you guys can hear me and Heartbeat Hero can hear me, my voice is on the doubled side. So, I apologize for the extreme reverb. So you're going to get full on Miami Dan today.
You are
for sure.
embracing it.
I am, man. All right. So what got you started into music in general? Like, when did you start doing some music?
So, like in elementary school, well, actually in church, I used to sing with the other people that were singing,
With the choir,
and I
right?
enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So,
Or from the pew?
well, no, it wasn't the choir. It's like a Protestant church,
Yeah.
so
So
we
from
just
the
sang
pews.
from.
Yeah. In the pews.
Are those called the wooden benches called pews?
Pews. Yeah. Yeah. I grew up Protestant as well. I grew up
Okay.
Protestant. And then later in life, because my wife is Catholic and she wanted our children to be Catholic, I had to
Ooh.
convert. So,
Conversion.
yeah, I had to go through the whole how to become a Catholic school and stuff like that. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, so as a kid, sat and stood in the pews and enjoyed singing. And at school, one of my teachers noticed that I had a good voice. I don't know how, but she made me sing for the play, for the Christmas play. And so
Yep.
from that point on, I always knew I was able to sing. Didn't do much with that later on, like you did the jazz, the saxophone. You just let it slide after a while.
Yeah.
And then this was all in the States. So I lived in the States from 80 to 89. And then when we moved to the Netherlands, then I got a friend who had an Amiga 500. And
Wow.
my first gateway into creating music on the computer.
Nice. What was that like using the Amiga 500?
It was magical at the time.
Yeah.
If you look back, you were limited.
Right. It's like, what is this thing?
How many bits can I use for this sample?
Right, 8.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. All right. Well, we're gonna answer some more questions here to Heartbeat here. We're gonna play some music first. So you recently did a remix for none other than Bending Grid. So tell me about the remix for Party in My Time Machine.
Yeah, so this is my number one track on my Spotify playlist. So if you go to my Heartbeat Hero Spotify account, you'll see it's at the top.
Nice.
It's got 1,700 plays. I released it just before the new year, December 27th. So Bending Grid thought it was going to be the ultimate New Year's track.
Yeah.
And I was working on this track for months. Normally, it's way shorter. I was like at 10%, I would message him, I'm 10%. And
Yeah.
I would be 30%, I would say, I'm 30%. It would like weeks have gone by.
Uh huh.
Finally, I was done. And he said, well, I got to wait for Russell Nash. So
Right.
that took 3 months.
And then he had to wait for me. So
Oh, I don't even know what's going on behind the scenes, but I
yeah.
had to update him like on percent. So this is like really a unique experience for me. Um, but yeah, normally I like on a Friday night like this, I would make a track, put it on SoundCloud. If it
Okay.
does well, then the next week it's going on
Right.
Spotify and Bandcamp. So that's my normal route of bringing stuff to this. But I had a lot of time. I really liked to put make the vocals come out more.
Yeah.
So I was bringing everything back, and hopefully you enjoyed it. It's like a really dancey track,
Yeah.
and it's good for a New Year's party.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely agree. I mean, I was listening to it during New Year's too, so it worked for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm like, what is? I'm sitting on my phone. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, yes. I I just I love Jolie. I love her vocals.
Yes.
Absolutely a powerhouse. So makes it very easy to work with her voice. So you got the pleasure of manipulating that in your DAW. So my hat goes
I-
off to you for that.
Minimal manipulation, by the
Right.
way. It was just making room for her voice. That was all I did.
Yeah, yeah, she's good. It's yeah. She's a real treat because of what she can do. So. All right, well, without further ado, let's play Party in My Time Machine by Bending Grid, the Heartbeat Hero remix.
Shades. Here we go.
Nice.
Get ready for the ride, a journey through time, where galaxies collide under infinite skies. Give me a night I can't forget, 'cause I'm not ready to land. Everyone is getting wet. There's a party in my time machine. Let's do it all over again. Give me a night I won't regret. We're past and present blend. Everyone is getting wet. There's a party in my time machine. Let's do it all over again. I lost my memory. It feels like there's no gravity. I'm losing track of time, dancing full of ecstasy. We travel back in time, a new technology, a future so bright. Another party begins. Give me a night I can't forget, 'cause I'm not ready to land. Everyone is getting wet. There's a party in my time machine. Let's do it all over again. Give me a night I won't regret. We're past and present.
Banger of a track, man. Banger of a track. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I'm still a little dark in here, so let's see. Does this give me more?
Need to
Yes.
lighten it
There
up.
we go. Now, yeah.
There you are.
Now you can see me. Now it's, well,
He's behind like the mic. Now you can see me.
right. I gotta play peekaboo. Because now we have to get the full Miami Dan effect in, you know.
Oh yeah, here we go with the
We gotta
sunglasses.
get it now. There we go. Yes.
I can
Oh,
barely
yeah.
read the screen, but
That's right. Yeah.
it looks cool.
Yeah, because it gets way too bright in here then once I put all the lights on. So let's see. We have some other stuff I have lined up for you, but I have some other stuff I want to play. So the next question I have for you then, since you're kind of like me, a child musician, sung in
Sounds like a
church,
prodigy.
stuff
Like a
like
prodigy,
that.
but not really.
Yeah, me neither. You know, I did choir like you. I did plays and stuff, and I was in the band, but I didn't really start producing music until I was an adult. But like, what for me, like I've always had a basis in I grew up during the '80s, so it's always about hair metal bands, Bon Jovi. And then stuff like Depeche Mode and Eurythmics and stuff like that. But then in the 90s, I got all into what was called the freestyle movement here, which is electronic dance music that was played in like nightclubs and stuff like that. What got you into synthwave?
I wasn't expecting to go there. So what became before synthwave? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Like, what did you do? Like if you were doing music, were you doing music before synthwave interested you, or did you make other things outside synthwave?
Yeah.
Okay.
So growing up, it was Michael Jackson in the '80s.
Nice. Okay.
Pretty much only Michael Jackson. I only had one tape of Michael Jackson. I would sing that in front of the mirror, like lip sync to that.
Yeah.
But later, when I got older, Nirvana was a big thing. And then after Nirvana was the Public Enemy, I think. That was a big thing for me. Then the Prodigy. So that's where the electronic influences were coming from.
Nice.
And then Daft Punk like solidified it. I wanted to be Daft Punk. That's kind of the route I was going.
Nice. Okay. I agree. I agree with all of that, especially the Daft Punk, especially.
And then a friend of mine, he's like, the music you're making is somewhat similar to this new this new genre of music that's called synthwave. It sounds kind of similar. You should definitely give it a try. So I listened to Wave Shaper that was one of the first tracks that I really liked.
Nice.
Listening to synthwave, and then I kind of changed my style into synthwave, and synthwave led me into way better production and learning things, figuring things out like bass lines and different frequencies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would have to say that my musical career path followed almost the same, which is, it must be a Daniel name thing. I don't know.
But you like Nirvana? Because not everybody likes Nirvana.
Yeah, man. I was quite upset when Kurt took himself out, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, they joined the 27 Club.
Yeah. I was a Nirvana fan. Looking back, I do blame the alternative rock movement for killing the whole 80s movement. The 80s new wave movement and the 80s hair metal band and all that stuff died. That completely died when the alternative rock movement took over, especially here in America. But because back then it was all about the alternative movement, and then the more industrial stuff like Prodigy started coming out, and then you had like 9 Inch Nails, stuff like that. That took over. After that, here in America anyway, the whole new wave stuff, what we have inspirations for synthwave, all that died. It was just it was dead. So there was a little bit of a hatred for it, but I mean, I was a huge Nirvana fan, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple
I'm sure
Pilots.
you still have grunge bands. I mean, it's not completely dead. It's just there weren't any big bands emerging from that scene anymore.
Yeah, well, now they've turned into like 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin, stuff like that. Like Breaking Benjamin just released a brand new song, which is awesome. It sounds great. Sounds like the original Breaking Benjamin that I love, and out of all the concerts that I've been to, the most I've ever been to is Breaking Benjamin. I've seen them live many, many times. I was just really into that, and I was big into that before I became more into dubstep. Like dubstep came along and made like a huge splash, and then I was telling you before, like how I discovered synthwave was by accident. Because again, I grew up in the '80s and '90s. I grew up on Miami Vice, and stuff like that. So, and I was obsessed with Tron, and I just started looking up that soundtrack for all that stuff in YouTube. And
The new
YouTube
one
said-
or the one from the 80s?
No, the new one. Yeah,
All right.
the new
With,
Tron.
from
Tron Legacy.
Daft Punk,
Yeah, right.
Daft Punk Tron.
Right, the Daft Punk soundtrack. Right, and I was always big into Daft Punk, too. So, YouTube thought, like, okay, you're looking up Daft Punk. You're looking up the OST for, Miami Vice. You're looking up the OST for this game called Pinout. You must like stuff that sounds like Daft Punk. Here's Kavinsky, and down the rabbit hole I went. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of people don't know Kavinsky was produced by Daft Punk. So,
What?
oh,
I
so
did
guess
not
you
know
didn't
that.
You didn't
There
know
you
either?
go.
Yeah, yeah. Miguel, the guy.
What do you mean produced by? What does that mean?
So all of the music behind Kavinsky is Daft Punk.
Oh, it's the okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the other way around.
Yeah,
I thought Kavinsky produced.
No,
Daft Punk,
no.
yeah.
So, and it wasn't. It was only one member.
I would never know the names.
Gold helmet. The gold helmet.
The gold,
Gold helmet.
Still don't know the
guy?
guy. Gold
He,
helmet.
I always forget how to pronounce his name. Both,
Silver helmet guy and gold
yeah,
helmet
French
guy.
house musicians. But yeah, he produced both Kavinsky and The Weeknd. So
Wow.
that's why The Weeknd's Blinding Lights sounds so much synthwave-ish, because it was produced by Daft Punk. So when
And the
people
other-
get into the argument of, well, who started synthwave, and say, it was Collage or it was Kavinsky, like, nah, dig deeper. It was Daft
Yeah.
Punk that started synthwave.
I'll tell you who started synthwave. This
Yeah.
community. These are the
Yes.
people. These
Yes.
are the real people that are promoting and producing and creating this awesome community that is welcoming to everybody. I mean, this community is amazing, and I love contributing to it, and it's great.
Yeah, RetroSynth and your show, Heartbeat Hero, wouldn't be where it's at if it wasn't for the community. The whole synthwave community is what drives it.
100%. Exactly.
Yeah.
If anybody makes synthwave, they're gonna have way more views than if they just make a standard house track. It's pathetic. People just released like they're on SoundCloud. On FL Studio.
Right.
They create like this house beat. Everybody's like, okay, and then they make a synthwave thing, and everybody's like, yes, this is amazing.
Right. Yeah. And I've seen artists leave synthwave and then go to
Yes.
other genres. What's his name?
Also, a lot of podcasts have left synthwave, or at least they burnt out.
Yes, they burnt out. And that's kind of I say it all the time with my team. It's part of our rising success here with RetroSynth is as some of these older established podcasts, names, record labels, stuff like that, as either they got bored and they stopped, or they went out of business, or whatever. We have risen to fill the void. So
That's true.
RetroSynth has grown by leaps and bounds because of that. So because it was a pretty crowded community for a while, loads of different record labels and podcasters and stuff like that kind of had a good lockdown, I think,
Yeah.
on the community. And now it has changed big time. I mean, there's so much available now to really go for it. So, but it's still the community. Whatever. The community just changed. That's all.
And plus, the people that left, I miss them still. So they still have a place in my heart.
True. Like, for example, like Marco Merrick used to do his show all the time. I'm like, I miss that, you know.
Oh, but he's still doing the show with Andy.
With Andy, right? But Marco had his own for a while.
He did have his own.
Yeah.
That was also the first show that introduced me to synthwave.
Yeah. I
But
think he has
him
some
being able to
edits.
come on that show is still a
Yeah.
good platform.
Yeah, and Andy Lass is great. I love watching. He's so funny. I love whenever he has Troy Bishop on because it's like they're both two drunken sailors. I just love it.
I have him on every summer where I have Karin on and like all the podcast hosts. So
Nice.
know that if you're a podcast host,
Yeah.
I'm looking at one. right
Have
now,
to come on board.
You're gonna get an invite
There we
for
go.
that trivia. So hopefully you're available.
Oh yeah, I'll trust me for that. I will make myself available for sure.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to some music for you.
Oh, yeah, music.
So the next one I'm gonna play is Into Oblivion. So
Yes.
tell me just a bit about that track.
So a quick shout out. I had a lot of people remix it, so that's amazing. We had one by Cyberwalker, Pashong, and a lot of other people. I think even Laser Punk made one as well.
Nice.
Very cool. It was made in the winter months, so kind of this time of year. I was really sick, had a bad cold for a few weeks, and just this dark synth track came out of that period. So it's synthwave, it's cyberpunk, it's just really dark.
Awesome. Let's play it. All right. Here is Into Oblivion by Heartbeat Hero. I gotta pick my face up off the floor after that one. That was awesome. I love it.
Thank you, man.
I love it. So I was wondering,
Thank you, Dan.
would you like to help me out with a little giveaway?
I would indeed.
I have Bandcamp codes here for the awesome people that are with us. But what we're going to do is I have them physically printed out. So I know we didn't test this on off camera, but I'm wondering if I hold these up to the camera, if you could read the code out to
Oh my
the
God.
listeners.
Taking off the glasses
Right.
for that one.
Alright, so this one, yeah, I'm going to take off mine too, because old
Can't
man's
you just like send them to me, like make a photo and then send it to me through Facebook?
I can, but that wouldn't be as fun.
Ah, all right. We'll make it. We'll keep it fun.
All right, so this one is for Dream Invaders. Their album's called Is Anyone There? You can head over to retrosynthrecords.bandcamp.com/yum. Again, that is retrosynthrecords.bandcamp.com/yum. I'm going to hold it up to the camera and see if you can read that.
Can you move it a little bit to the left? Yeah. All right. We got the first code. Is anyone there by Dream Invaders? I took a picture so I
There
can
you
read
go. Makes it easier.
it. All small letters. F. The F from I don't know. Can we curse on this?
F from France?
France. Oh, France. There you go. The N from Netherlands. C from what's this? C word?
Charlie? C as in
Charlie. And then we have an H from
Right.
Charlie.
H is in Harry.
And then we got dash, and then a lowercase j from Jared, the lowercase v from Victor, the K from Koala, and then the P from,
Peter.
oh no, from Peter. Yeah, there you
He
go.
is a Peter. I don't know. My dad was in the military, and he was a pilot, so he would teach me all the correct ways of saying all those albums.
Yeah, the Victor I knew. That was
Yeah.
that was a correct one, but
So, question for you, sir. So you
Yeah.
used to live in the United States, and now
Mhm.
you live in Netherlands, right?
the Netherlands.
Okay, so you're closer to one
Germany,
of my,
France.
One of my idols, Mr. Jordy, Time Cop.
Yeah. I'm like really close. I'm like probably 50 kilometers
Wow, you are
away.
close. Okay.
Yes.
I'm a bit jelly.
And he is one of the most hard to reach people in the universe.
Ever.
I will like send him a message and he'll respond like 3 months later,
Yeah.
and then I'll respond again and never get anything back, and then I'll try again in 3
It's
months.
good to know that I'm not being discriminated against when it comes to
No.
Jordy, because
There
you
are these
know-
people.
Yeah.
I have a cousin that is exactly the same way.
Wow, that's a shame. But yeah, he's so hard to get a hold of, and it's like you see him on Facebook and stuff, and it's like, well, dude,
Yeah.
if you're on Facebook, aren't you reading the message I'm sending you? And no, he doesn't. I'm like, really? Well, and we're friends, which gets me. It's like,
Yeah.
why aren't you communicating with your friends? But
It's
you
just
know.
his style. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's-
the way he is.
Yeah, I learned over the years that's just who he is. So
Yeah, People
okay,
like that.
so the big
If
question,
you message me,
right?
I'm gonna answer.
Hello, yeah, right here. So the big question I have for you is, why did you move to the Netherlands from America?
So I wasn't born in the States.
Okay.
So I was born in Belgium, which is
Belgium.
under the Netherlands.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's like on the border of the Netherlands. So my dad was in the Air Force, and he was stationed in Belgium, and he met my mom in the Netherlands, which it's like a city that was very close by. So
right.
they met up, fell in love, had 2 kids, and then they moved back to the States.
Okay.
And then after a period of 10 years or 9 years, they moved back to the Netherlands because my mom really wanted to be with a family. My dad thought it was great because he loved Europe. And we've lived here ever since.
Ah, beautiful. The rest is history.
The
Oh.
rest is history.
That's awesome. I love that story. Not me. I'm boring. Born and raised here in New Jersey.
Are you speaking with a New Jersey accent? Can you thicken it up? How would you talk?
Well,
You're with your boys.
If I was from New York City, then this is New York. You're from New Jersey. You're coming out to the Long Beach LBI. And the Giants. No, we don't talk like that. No, I have a very South Philadelphia accent. So yeah, New Jersey, as small as this state is, it could be probably chopped into 3 different states or even 3 different countries. It actually has its own microclimates within this little tiny state. It's also probably why it is one of the reasons why it's the most populous state in the entire country. There's more population here per square inch than any other state in America. And that's because the other part of it is that we're nestled right in between New York City and Philadelphia. So we're less one big suburb, one big melting pot for all of it too. But yeah, if you're close to New York City, you have that Brooklyn, that New York City accent. But down here, all of South Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia, a lot of people sound like I do. However, if you go further into New Jersey, down towards our little peninsula, and out towards Atlantic City and Cape May and the New Jersey famous boardwalk and all that stuff, it tends to start sounding like you're out of Alabama, and you have like a real southern twang. Yeah,
Twang it.
Yeah. Like a lot of my family, my uncles and cousins, down in South Jersey, we are dairy farmers, and they sound like they're farmers. I mean, they have like they're out of Mississippi or Alabama with a little bit of twang, and I'm like, this is New Jersey, It's not Alabama.
So I grew up in Arkansas. That's where
Yeah.
I came from, and everybody talked like this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So it's weird to have like different accents like that. And then when I first met you, I kind of thought like, he says he's from the Netherlands, but he doesn't sound like he's from the
Yeah.
Netherlands.
I got lucky with that.
Yeah.
My sister's like a totally bad English speakers, but I still was able to keep that accent in there.
Oh, awesome. That's great. And then real quick, back to the church stuff. So
Yeah.
it was in just singing like hymns and stuff. Is that how you kind of developed the fact that you had a voice?
That I liked singing along with melodies, and that
Okay.
melodies really resonated with me. So I really take that into my music still.
Yeah, I would definitely say I agree with you. I'm not really much of a solo singer. I like singing the melodies along. Other voices along with me kind of give me that self-confidence that I've done solos before, and it's like, spotlight is all on you, and the chills and the nerves and everything else start coming up like, I don't want to do this. So, but yeah. The reason why I bring it up is, church stuff and church music. Have you ever heard of Christian synthwave music?
So the only association I have with Christian synthwave is the playlist of Maya Kamara, which he
Okay.
has.
There you
So
go.
it has like a lot of followers on there. So
Okay.
submit your Christian synthwave to Maya.
I will definitely be doing that, because one of our artists on the label goes by the name of Positronic, and he does he calls uplifting synthwave. But some of his songs are definitely religious in nature, all about praise and glorifying God. And he
Is that in the lyrics or is it an instrumental?
No, there are lyrics. Yeah,
Okay,
he
otherwise
sings.
it's very difficult to
Right,
do that.
yeah. No, but I would say if you were to take his tracks and turn them into an instrumental, just listening to everything, if you're in a bad mood, it just kind of like lifts you up, that kind of thing. So it's very positive, and that's what he markets himself as, a positive musician. But, he likes throw some Christian stuff in there. So the reason why I bring it up is because he released a brand new song today called
Well, let's have a listen.
Glorious Day, and we're going to play it for you all right now.
Cool.
I was buried beneath my shame. rescue. My sin was heavy, but chains break at the weight of your glory. I needed shelter, I was an orphan, but you called me a citizen of heaven. When I was broken, you were my healing. Your love is the air that I'm breathing. I have a future, my eyes are open. 'Cause when you call my name, I'm out of the darkness into your glorious day. You call my name, and I ran out of the darkness into your glorious day. Come on!
And that was Glorious Day by Positronic.
That was a happy surprise.
Yeah, I agree. That's why he makes a lot of happy, positronic music, and it's in the name. It's built into the cake. So yeah, I do enjoy stuff like that. So let's see, we have get back over to some of your stuff. Okay. Summer Heat 1983. Let's chat about that song.
Yeah, that's a great track. I was planning to take part in a synthwave competition.
Okay.
I can't remember who was like they had 3 judges, and one of them was Julian the Neon Fox.
Oh, nice.
And they had like this like pre-show, so you could also submit something for two minutes, and they would give some feedback on it. And this was a submission for that show, and it's got 10,000 plays on Spotify. It's doing really well. It got added to some really cool playlists.
That's awesome.
So and also just one more thing about the track. There's also a track called "The Day You Walked Away," and a friend of mine called Embers. He made a new take on it with a nice vocal on it, and just a new take on the whole track. So if you have the chance, also try out "The Day You Walked Away" by Embers.
I'll have to take a listen to that. All right. Well, for right now, though, we're going to play this 10,000 Spotify play song called Summer Heat 1983 by Heartbeat Hero. super smooth. Did you
Yeah,
see
that's
my
it.
comment?
I saw a lot of comments. Oh, Sats. Yeah. That's it. Yep.
Sax plays, man. That's what happens. People
Trying to get Nicholas to do a vocal on it.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Yeah, I'm digging Nicholas Rickson. Yeah, and I was turned on to him by
He's the reason.
Yeah.
He's the reason I'm here.
really. Oh, do
Nicholas led to memory design. Memory design led to Dream Pocket, and then I was like, "Who are all these people? Where are they coming from?" And then it led me to you.
tell. Wow.
Nicholas put out the request like, "Hey, just a random question. Would it be okay if I came on your show?" I'm like, "Okay. If you send me a video, if you're willing to talk, let's go."
That's
And he's funny.
awesome.
He's funny and entertaining. So
Yeah,
he's always welcome on the
I've been
show.
chatting back and forth with him a little bit too, and then it was great seeing him on your show. But yeah, I was turned on to him by Memory Design. He's like, dude, you got to check out this Nicholas Rickson guy. He's like, I'm gonna be playing some of his music on our show on Tuesdays. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And then he starts playing. I'm like, okay, this guy has my attention. You know, it's like, yeah, this is good stuff. So, yeah, shout out to Nicholas Rickson because that's some super awesome stuff you got going on. We really like it. So, yeah, sax, man. I kick myself for not keeping up with it.
Yeah.
Especially in today, you know, synthwave. It's like, oh, I could have been like a Tim Capello, you know.
No, then you wouldn't have never started the label. If you were like a
True.
sax player, then the label would be out of the question.
Yeah, the label would have been out of the question, you know, for sure. Yeah, I'm having a little issue with my headphones. There we
Oh.
go. Okay. Yeah, this one, this side goes out, and then I can't hear anything. So.
Time for some new headphones.
Yeah, I think.
I
it's
can
time to-
recommend these. These
Yeah.
are ATX Technica something.
Nice.
I got two pair. One for birthday number 44. This was 45.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, these are PreSonus, and but I think they've been beat up just a little bit too much, so it might be time for them to go. Let me get over to, let's see, what else do I have lined up for you? Oh, you know what? But before we do that, so I have to. Let's see, we did that. Okay. So, let's talk about physical media, sir. How do you feel about physical media? What's your thoughts? Yes, no, maybe so, not for you.
And we're talking about records and tapes
Records,
and
tapes,
CDs.
yeah. Do you believe in the all digital thing, or do you like
I believe
to...
in a thing called love. No, if you look to my left, which you cannot,
Right.
there's like a whole thing of DVDs and Blu-rays, and so
Nice.
my love for physical goes to movies.
Right. Oh, okay. All right. Well, do you still have? Well, I see there's a VHS player right there. So,
Yeah,
do you have VHSs there in the studio? Besides,
I mean these two.
yeah. Well, do you have more than those two?
No, they're just props,
Okay.
as well as the VHS.
Up
Yeah,
above me, I would have to move the camera up, but I have a whole wall full of them. I'm not one of those people that threw them all away when DVDs came out, and then
Yeah.
people who threw the DVDs away when the Blu-ray came out. We just kept rocking the VHS tapes until we couldn't rock them no more. But now like you, the VHS player is now here. You know, the tape deck is here in the studio. But there is still one in the house that does the whole DVD VHS cassette thing. So
Oh, you were talking about that.
Yeah,
You
so
actually watch the VHSs.
yes,
So what's the last movie you want to share that you watched on VHS?
The Dark Crystal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the kids wanted to see it. They're like, "What? You know, let's go on Amazon and check." I'm like,
Yeah.
no, we're not."
Oh, you're
doing
the
all
worst.
that. No, let's
You're making them sit, look at that big monitor,
Yeah,
and,
like,
and
no, no,
it's
no.
beeping like in the background, like.
Yeah, I was like, all right, kids, it's time for Dad to learn you a little bit, you know. So I go into the collection and I grab the Dark Crystal on VHS. They're like,
One of
what
the
the heck is
scariest movies
that?
They have it on Netflix. They have like they did a redo on
Oh
that,
yeah,
right?
oh yeah. The I got into the series,
Oh.
and it was very good. It's a shame it only lasted the one season, but it was very well done. And I think if Jim Henson was still alive, he would have put his seal of approval on it. So yeah, a lot of people don't know who were into the Jim Henson world and the Muppets and all the other stuff that Jim Henson did. His passion project was the Dark Crystal, and he sank so much money and time into that that it was a shame that it kind of flopped. But then it grew this humongous cult following, and then in the years before he died, he was full gung ho into making a Dark Crystal 2, and he already built sets and costumes and stuff, but he was just getting too weak and too sick, and then he passed. So, but then it was his kids who then like put the mantle on, and then contracted with Netflix for like the funding and the studio and everything, and yeah, they made the Dark Crystal series. It was what Dark Crystal 2 was going to be, just broken up into multiple parts. So, but yeah, it was finally made.
And it was you watching, and your kids they went off to watch something else.
No, they were good kids. They sat and watched it, but I had to explain what a tape was. Well, of course, you know, my kids being my kids and who I am with synthwave and everything, they know I'm all about physical media. So
Yeah.
they're always seeing records and stuff throughout the house and stuff like that. But they never saw a tape until that part. They're like, is that like the new Nintendo Switch or something, Dad? I'm like, no, it's not a Switch. This is a movie. They're like, huh?
Speaking of, the new Nintendo Switch 2 is out, by
I
the way.
saw, yeah, I saw the drop for that. I'm like, oh, okay, this is new. I got off the platform bandwagon a long time ago. My kids are on the platforms; they have Switches. For any kind of gaming nowadays, I use my computer. I use my PC for that.
Yeah.
The last console that I bought for myself was a PS2, PlayStation 2.
Ooh.
That was the last one I bought for myself. And then we had like the Wii, the Wii U, but that was again for like the kids. Oh no, I take it back. The last one I bought was a GameCube. That was the last one I bought
still ancient.
for me. Yeah, and I bought it for the Metroid game. That was it. I only wanted the Metroid game. It's kind of like the only thing I played on that system. And then after I beat it, I'm like, okay, it kind of got like was hung up again.
Yeah.
And then the kids all got like the Switches and stuff like that. So, yeah, I do my PC gaming, and I get left alone. So I bring up physical media because I want to talk about some physical media. So like I said, on your show, I opened up a brand new Cosmo Cocktail album. And I just wanted to show everybody if they can see it on screen.
Yeah, because you got the smaller screen.
Yeah, I got the smaller screen, but we only brought in a few. There's only 20 of these.
Can you show it again? I missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cosmo, awesome.
Yeah,
That is a cool logo.
Show you the back. And little tracks. RetroSynth Records. And hang on, maneuver the screen here.
Can you just keep on holding it like this while telling about it?
Sure. So, there is 8 tracks: "Not of This World," "Frost Moon," "You and the Stardust," "Planetica," "Mar Tranquilitatis," "The Major," "Lost in Time," and then "Lights on the Pleiades."
Is that like a satellite in the front?
Yep, it looks like it's like
Cool.
Gemini or like Voyager 2. So, beautiful artwork. Beautiful artwork.
Very nice.
Hey, only 20 were made. There are 7 left for sale. That is it. So
On Bandcamp, right?
yes, on Bandcamp. It's in this beautiful high gloss black. 180 gram, super sturdy. So if you want it, there's only, like I said, only 20 are produced. That's it. No others will be made after this. And there's 7 left, so you can pick it up. I'm going to post a link to that
Yeah, post that in there.
in the chat. There it is. And then we are going to play the title song off of this Cosmo Cocktail Planetica. That was Planetica by Cosmo Cocktail off of the album of the same name, Planetica. So you can check that out and grab that at cosmococktail.bandcamp.com or over to retrosynthrecords.bandcamp.com. Either one will get to you. And while that was playing off camera, The Dark Crystal on VHS cassette.
Wow.
Still has the cellophane on it. But yes, kids, this is what a tape looks like. a unrewound tape, too. I was not kind. I did not rewind. If you return this to the video rental back in the day, back to Blockbuster Video, yeah, you would get fined for this.
What was the fine? How much was it?
It's like $2 or something like that.
All right, here you go.
Right.
Take my money.
I was not kind. I did not rewind. But, yeah, this is a classic. I mean, I must have seen this movie more times than I can count. There's a certain tapes from, like, back in the day. That's the only thing with tapes, right? You watch it so many times, eventually it wears out. You would actually break the tape. It would snap. So, yeah. Let's see. Time for another giveaway, but I won't make you go through all that again.
It took too long. I was reading too slow.
That was kind of brutal, man. I don't want to have to put you through that kind of torture anymore, you know? So, let's get
I don't know who was torturing who.
well, you know. All right, so we're going to do one better. I'm going to type this one in the chat, and I'll read it to you as well for those listening on KSWV. Let's see. Okay, you can head over to retrosynthrecords.bandcamp.com/yum, and you can enter code QS93-YRHE, and you will pick up your copy of The App EP by Let 'Em Riot. Okay, let's see, we have... Go back over to, where is it? Yes, I want to play at least one more song for you. So, I love the name of this track, Star Child. Tell me about Star Child.
So, you're excited, but it's a pretty sad story.
Okay.
So, me and my wife, it's now, I think, it's probably 12 years ago, we were trying to have kids. And so she got pregnant, and pretty late in the pregnancy, we found out that the child had passed away. So it was like really saddening. Like we had bought a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
We had the name already. So you like really, this person was almost already there.
It was that
And
kind of Star Child.
that's where it came from. But I hadn't processed that loss yet.
Right.
So 10 years later, I started thinking about it again, and that's what made this track. Thinking about
Wow.
what if that was
Right.
a living being.
Right. Were you ever able to have children after that one?
Yes, we had our son after. So
okay.
yes.
Okay. Did you already have a name picked out and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be hard to talk about stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just quick on my family, real quick. My father had a previous marriage before my mother, and then my mother had married again after my mother and father divorced. So technically, I'm an only child of my mother and my father, right? But I have all sisters. So my father, the wife.
On the second marriage?
Yeah. So I have a half sister from my father's previous marriage. So I have an older half sister, and then had me. They split up, and then my mom had 3 more girls with her new marriage to my stepfather, and then my dad finally got remarried again, and she already had a daughter. So I have 4 stepsisters and I'm sorry, not 4 half sisters and 1 stepsister.
Yeah.
But her first pregnancy, actually her first 2 pregnancies after me, they were both boys, and they were
Ooh.
both stillborn. Yeah, the one
Ooh.
died in the womb about midterm, and then the one that we really thought I was going to have a baby brother, she gave birth to him, and he was dead. So,
Heavy stuff, man.
yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
What age were you at? Were you like 4 or 5?
I was 6. Yeah, I was 6. So, then thankfully she got pregnant, kind of like right away, and then I had my first half sister after that, Mary Lou. So, but yeah, it was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
So,
And I thought like I could get over it,
yeah,
but I just never really gave it the time of day, and thinking about it like really good and giving it the place.
yeah, and
was really,
you have
really
to process that. You know,
Yeah.
we have to have the time to process that. Grief can do that too. It can be like, at least I know for me, I usually deal with grief by kind of like burying it, and then it'll sneak up and hit me when I least expect it. You know, like when my father-in-law passed away, I was
Mm.
very close with my father-in-law. He was kind of like my best friend. We would both, do the
I mean,
guy
the
thing.
only man in the house.
Well, yeah, and then
Yeah.
we would do the thing where we had a commonality where we would complain about each other's wives to each other. So he married my wife's mother, and and I would complain to him about my wife, and he would complain to me about his wife. But he was the best, grandfather
Yeah.
to my kids. He taught us a lot of stuff, very handy with his hands, and he helped me build an entire addition onto my house, and he remodeled his entire house. And he passed away suddenly. So we
And you gave him like 4 little boys or 4 sons he could have extra.
yeah, and then he did get to meet his granddaughter, but she was still little, and then he passed. Yeah, it was sad. So, but that, like at the funeral, I didn't really cry at all. It was when I was, like in my workshop with a hammer in my hand, working, and it's like I felt it. It came up and hit me like over the head. His presence. I was kind of like, wow, and I just almost like a ton of bricks, just start crying, and because I missed him so much. So it could be hard to process. So I can commiserate with you. We almost lost our daughter, so that was
Ooh.
yeah. That thankfully she's very healthy and she's fine
Mhm.
now. But she was sick in the womb, and then after she was born, she was very, very sick. She had all kinds of problems. She had an autoimmune disease.
Ooh.
That's
So she's not
she's-
having it anymore?
It's gone. Yeah, she grew
Wow.
out of it. Yeah. So, thank the Lord. But yeah, she is much better. She's a perfectly healthy 6-year-old little girl now. So it's absolutely amazing. So, well, without that, before you and I both start crying, let's play Star Child by Heartbeat
you.
Hero. say is, wow. I love how how you did the build-ups and everything. It started real slow and quiet, and just slowly started building and building and building until at the end you have that crescendo of all these really powerful drums and stuff. It was great, man. I mean, it reminds me a lot of the of my Neutron Dreams type production. I kind of do the same thing in some of my tracks where it's like sometimes you can't say everything that you want to say in 3.5 minutes, so that's why a lot of my tracks end up being like 5 minutes or longer. But
That's some 10-minute tracks or 20-minute tracks.
well, my DME,
I can't play those things.
the DMME stuff, yeah. Those are 10. Well, the ones that are dedicated to my wife and my friend, those are ambient tracks. So yeah, they're all, and they're meant to be listened in the album. So you start and then you end. It's an hour's worth of music, and it's just they're meant to just you're having a tough time. It's rough. It's stressful. Put the headphones on, play it, start to finish, and it just takes you away. But that track, especially with your story to it, very powerful. But yeah, it's well done. Very, very
And
good track.
it's the weird thing. I mean, the ones that have the deepest stories, they cut the deepest.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think I told you about I don't know if it was on the show or off the show, about how I got used to working from home. Did I tell you that story?
No.
Okay. So there's a song that kind of hits home for me. It's actually probably my most popular song. It was the remix that Neutron Dreams did for Time Cop for his Tonight song. Tonight is probably one of my most favorite synthwave tracks of all time. And Jordy knows that. Jordy knows it. If it's not in his set list when I go to see him at the show, he'll say, "Okay, you're here. I'll try to rearrange the set a little bit, make sure I have Tonight on there for it."
Nice.
And he has remade it in several ways also. I'm hypothesizing because of what we did, so now he doesn't play it exactly the same way anymore. But back in what was it, 2019? Okay, so 2019 was January. Really, really hard time for myself, my family, stuff like that. We're both, my wife and I are approaching 40. And that's when we find out that she's pregnant with our daughter. So weren't expecting to be pregnant for the 5th time, especially being almost 40. And we were going through some other stuff and work stuff, and we were dealing with the medical benefits stuff here happening in the United States and stuff like that. So life wasn't too good. And then it was all at the same time in January where we found out she was pregnant, and then I lost my job. I got laid off that same month. And then at the same time, my original bandmate decided to quit. So I went from being a duo as Neutron Dreams to a solo artist. And during that time, he had before he left, he had done kind of like a guitar improv to Tonight. So I was like feeling like absolute crud. I didn't know what I was going to do with the music because I felt like I was completely abandoned. It came out of nowhere. I had no idea he was leaving, and to try to I guess give myself something to be hopeful about. I mean, yes, we're gonna have another baby. I was so excited for that.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like
and scared.
Yeah, I was scared, right? And I just lost my job. I'm like, how am I gonna take care of the wife and the family and everything? So I'm searching for another job, and I was like, okay, I had this idea brewing for Tonight already, and so it was like, okay, I think I'm gonna put it together. now that you're gone, that kind of thing. So I contacted Jordy, told him my idea. He was cool with it. He said, okay, you can, you have my blessing, and he gave me some things to do as far as, the key, tempo, all that stuff that be one part of the track. And I had these guitar parts that were already put down by my old bandmate. And so at the time, I became really good friends with Elevate the Sky. And this is before this is before I was running RetroSynth and stuff. I was an artist on RetroSynth, and he was a label mate. So I contacted him like, dude, I need your help. He's like, yeah, what do you want? I was like, how would you like to sing on a Time Cop remix? He's like, yes, let's do it. So I wrote all the lyrics out, and I gave it to him. I said, what do you think? He's like, most of these will work. Not for my voice. Let me rearrange things a little bit, and then we can go from there. I said, what about maybe changing up the track a little bit? I was like, yeah, I wrote some instrumental parts too. You want to add in as well? He's like, yeah, let's do that. So he laid down fresh vocals, and then I took my instrumental ads with his instrumental work, and he's like, I can't get these vocals to sound right. I know. Let me contact a friend. He called Michael Oakley.
Yeah, I know he's worked with Michael.
Right, yeah. And I've become friends with Michael, too, because he, at the time, was living in Glasgow, over in Scotland, and my bandmate was from Glasgow in Scotland. So we already had a connection, and Michael was sort of taking me under his wing, and he helped me with that entire first album, actually. Our first album was kind of like co-mastered and stuff with Michael Oakley. And the very first song we actually did and put together as Neutron Dreams, like the first 45-second intro is all Michael Oakley. That's not even me at all. It's all Michael. But he was able to take Scott's vocals and make him this beautiful thing. And then we put that together with the Time Cop song with our added instrumentals and came out with this beautiful remix that practically changed the song. So it wasn't even the original song anymore. And then when I presented Time Cop with it, he was like, do you want to play it? Add it to your playlists. Do you want a copy of it? He's like, you know what, Dan? It's not my song anymore. It's your song. You do what you want with it. I was like, wow, okay. But yeah, during that time, that song was kind of, going through a hard time. That song really helped to kind of get all that feeling into the music. So it was great. Yeah, to have.
I hope you have this track lined up because we got to listen to it now, right?
Oh,
you don't have it lined up?
Didn't. No. I had something else completely lined up, but that's easily fixed. So,
all right, cool.
I don't know if you've ever heard it before, so.
I haven't heard it, but I am going to take a bathroom break real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'll miss the first part.
We're going to be done in just a few minutes too, anyway. But you go ahead, go do the bathroom break while
All right.
I get it queued up.
See you in a bit.
Yep. All right, everybody. So while he is on bathroom break, we're going to do this. And then after that, we are going to play like 2 or 3 more songs, and then we are going to be out of here. So I want to thank you all for being here and hanging out with Heartbeat Hero and I, Miami Dan, on KSWV Radio Shockwave out of San Diego, California, where we play you and hear live in the beautiful town of Deptford, New Jersey, right outside the city of Philadelphia. All right, so let's do. We're going to cue it up right now for you. Whoa, computer, don't go all haywire on me. I have an audience waiting. Okay, so for your listening pleasure, Time Cop 1983 tonight, the Neutron Dreams remix.
I dreamt music.
There's some of me in you.
Remember when you were 6? You you and your brother snuck into an empty building through a basement window? You were gonna play doctor? He showed you his, and when it got to be your turn, you chickened and ran. Remember that? You ever tell anybody that? Your mother, Tyrell, anybody? You remember the spider that lived in a bush outside your window? Orange body, green legs? Watched her build a web all summer. Then one day there's a big egg in it. The egg hatched.
The egg hatched,
Yeah.
and 100 baby spiders came out. And they ate her.
Implants. Those aren't your memories. They're somebody else's. They're Tyrell's nieces.
I've been waiting here in the rain, all by myself, waiting for my future to arrive, with dreams in my hands, no backup plan. I decide my own life. I see her standing there all by herself. She's been waiting here for the right touch. She's lost in the world of her own, a work of art, a perfect heart. Tonight, she shines so bright, diamonds in the sky. Tonight, breaking all the rules, roll all the dice. Tonight, we can dream all night. Open up your sacred. Tonight, we will rise above these faded dreams. Time to move forward now, create my future. It's time to believe in something more. I see it in your eyes, a promise of tomorrow. We'll find the answer someday. Electric dreams of neon blue, memories of a golden sunset. Drive down a crimson coast with you into the sun. Tonight, she shines so bright, diamonds in the sky. Tonight, breaking all the rules, roll all the dice. Tonight, we can dream all night. Open up your sacred. Tonight, we will rise above these faded dreams.
If we gift the past, we create a cushion, pillow for emotions, and consequently we can control them.
Memories. You're talking about memories.
She shines so bright, diamonds in the sky. Tonight, breaking all the rules, we'll dream of love. Tonight,
So yeah, that is the song. If you watch the video, you'll see a lot of different imagery and stuff like that. It was all based on Blade Runner and the different Blade Runner stuff like that. All the sound clips you heard were from Blade Runner. And then at the end of the music video, there's all pictures and videos of Michael Oakley, Ryan, Scott, and Jordy performing that song live while I recorded him. So it was really neat. Yeah. The first time I met him, I met Jordy. I don't know if he ever played at like big shows or stuff. Like not here anyway. Like he was doing stuff over there in the Netherlands, and he could sell out a room. But I think it was like before he got like super big over here. He came over here to state of Delaware, and he was in like this little goth bar. No idea. It was our first time there. I walk in. I'm like, is this it? It's like a dive, you know? They're like, yeah, are you here for the show? I'm like, yeah. He's like, here, let me stamp your hand. I'm like, okay. Got my hand stamped, all that stuff. It was just a bar, you know? I'm like, oh, where's the stage? I'm like, oh, the stage is over there. So I walk in, and it's just an open dance floor with a stage. And there's a couple of tables off to the side so you can sit and have a drink, stuff like that. My arm's on it. There we go. And there he is. He was just sitting right there, like drinking a water or a beer or something like that. And he was all by himself, just sitting there twiddling on his phone. And I come up right behind him. I give him a pat. He turns around. He's like, hey! And we give each other a great big hug. And but I got to hang out with Timecop, the master of Dreamwave, for like 3 hours before his set, which was absolutely amazing. And then while he was playing tonight especially, he was like beckoning me to come towards the stage, and he let me like kind of like stand up on the stage and like pretty much record him while he was playing tonight live.
Cool.
So I got to see like all the different key presses and everything. Like this is way early in my synthwave career. So I'm watching the master at work, do what he does best. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
I like those small venues the best because we have like one in Germany that's like really close, and it was similar to what you just said, and watching people perform in like that small venue, I like that way more than the big ones.
Me too. It's a bit more what's the best way to describe it? It's more inclusive, the best way to describe it. It's because it's close, it's kind of like there's nowhere to go. So you're kind of forced to talk with each other and stuff like that, in a closed environment. I mean, the big spaces, obviously, they have their uses. But I like them, too, a lot. So it was great. I mean, and then I've seen him, a bunch of other times after that. But, yeah, the first meeting, I'll never forget. And then he signed a poster for me, stuff like that. And that's properly mounted here in my studio.
Awesome.
So, all right, so we are coming down to the end of our show. We are definitely going over by a couple of songs because I cannot let you go without, or at least I can't let this show be over until I play a few songs from the brand new album by Miami Nights, 1984. I mean, it's just never in a million years that I think that we would be working with someone of the caliber of Miami Nights. And it has been an absolute pleasure, and it has taken off like gangbusters. And we want to thank everybody out there for your love and for your support. And we really, welcome Miami Nights here. Aisle 9 has joined in the chat. Welcome, Aisle 9. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you. Just click back over to the chat. But yeah, having Miami Nights working with us, it's been absolutely amazing, and we're very proud to offer his album on both CD and vinyl, so it is great to have him with us. So we're going to play, let me get over to the program here, make sure I got the right one. Yes, here we go. Okay, so we are going to play just the first 3 songs off of there. And then when we're done, I'm going to come back, see you again for just a few more minutes. And then you and I can peace out for today, my friend, and then
All right,
hopefully,
cool.
hopefully this isn't the last time we get to do this. This was a fun show. I'm really enjoying this.
Oh, we'll do it again like in half a year or something.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, that'll be awesome. All right, so let's get started with some Miami Nights, 1984, with Gunblaze Assaults.
Gunblaze Assault.
Cheetos. I love Cheetos. So you get all that cool American snacky stuff over there in the Netherlands?
We have a special, special segments in the store that just American candy and
dude,
stuff like
that's
that.
Awesome.
It's even making it into some of the supermarkets.
Oh wow.
American sections.
Wow. Not too much. It's what leads to the dad bod, you know.
The more shows I do, the
Right.
more weight I gain.
Yeah. Oh God. Same here. Okay. So, honest thoughts on the new Miami Nights. What do you think?
Oh man, I love it. I mean, I did not have the PS2, so this is like it feels like a PS2 thing.
Yeah.
If you play those games, so I was more like Xbox later generation stuff like that.
Okay.
So, but it's just vibey and it feels like PlayStation because Xbox had a different sound. It didn't have that clean Japanese.
Right.
Yeah,
You hit the nail on the
Yeah.
head, man. Yeah. It's like PS1, PS2. He was kind of going for that aesthetic, you know, and the imagination of like a space shoot 'em up game that was just never produced. You know, the OST was produced, but the game wasn't made. You know, that kind of
I mean,
thing.
it's Mitch Murder, pristine class
Yeah, it
music.
is.
This.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and Michael wasn't sure about it. Like he was really unsure how the fans would take it. And I was like, dude, do it. This is awesome. You know.
Yeah.
He first sent it to me a few weeks ago. He's like, this is what it's going to be. He's like, let me know what you think. I said, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Miami Nights, 1984 was my opinion on how his album sounds. Dude, I was taken back. I was like, you're kidding me, right? But yeah, he really wanted my input. He's like, yeah, I need to know if this is releasable, you know, or is this just a pet project that I can just, maybe put on SoundCloud or something like that. I'm like, no, dude, no, go with this. Yeah. He's like, but it's not Miami Nights. It's not my normal, outrun synthwave, dreamwave stuff. It's like, dude, trust me, it's your Miami Nights 1984. Just release it. People will eat it up no matter what. And I told him, like, look, dude, think back to the whole nostalgic factor of synthwave. A lot of people get away from that. They forget what synthwave was based on. Nostalgia. Nostalgia for the 80s, the 90s, the video games, the movies, the cartoons, the clothes.
Yeah.
It's like video games, especially those old school 8-bit, 16-bit systems. They have a
Best-selling system ever, I think.
Yeah, dude. Super Nintendo, and the Sony PlayStation. Those two are like, there's nothing like them. I mean, if you're a Final Fantasy fan, and I'll make lots of people mad with this comment, but to me, Final Fantasy VII with Cloud and Sephiroth is the best Final Fantasy ever. But it was made on PlayStation 1, and it was so big it needed 4 discs to play it. But now you can get on 1. Now they have the remake and all the other stuff. But that came out on the original PlayStation. So, but I was trying to I had to twist his arm a little bit. I was like, dude, it's nostalgia. Trust me.
Yeah.
You may not sell thousands, but it's going to sell. Go ahead and and work with us. Work with RetroSynth. Take a little bit of a different approach, and we'll see how it goes. And in one day, number 1 in synthwave. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude, number 1.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. So, all right, so we are going to sadly say goodbye. We can't do this forever, sadly.
Till next time.
Yeah.
On.
We gotta rock the shades, man.
We gotta rock the shades for the outro.
Yeah. So
you can't see me cry anymore.
Oh, right? This has been awesome, man. I mean, last week on your show, now this week on my show.
So I was thinking we can set up in the summer holiday where you join us on the trivia show, and then we'll do another one of these.
Yeah, that'll be great. I would love to be on your show again. Just let me know. I'll show up. I'll be there. This is great. I absolutely enjoyed this. I enjoyed your company. I'm hoping you and I can work together in the future on other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is awesome. I hope everyone that's watching and in the chat, hope you all enjoyed this little back and forth banter between Daniel and Dan. And people are saying Dan and Dan in the chat, But and just full disclosure, I am a Daniel, but I only get called Daniel by my wife, and that's when I'm in trouble. That's it.
I am a Daniel, and nobody calls me Dan except everybody from the synthwave community.
Go figure. And I'm actually a Daniel Michael, so I get.
I'm a Daniel Richard.
Daniel Richard, okay. That can go in a couple different ways. Yeah. But yeah, like people asking me why is my solo project called DMME? That's my initials. It's my initials. It's my birth name plus my Catholic confirmed name. So it's Daniel Michael Matthew Eaches. So that's DMME. Yeah, it's just my name.
It is written on your Bandcamp, by the way, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So. All right, sir. So we are going to end like I always begin. I always begin with a Neutron Dream song. I'm going to end with a Neutron Dream song. So we are going to play for Mr. Dream Pocket, who is live in our chat. We are going to play "Outrun the Night," by Dream Pocket, the Neutron Dreams remix. I want to thank Heartbeat Hero for being here. Thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you to everyone in our chat. I'm just going to name off some shout-outs here. We have the awesome, amazing Pac-Man from Australia is in our chat. Craig Pac-Man. X Michael X, thank you for being here. The Game Night, thank you for dropping by. Mr. Isle 9, thank you. Great to see you here. Thank you for dropping on by. Of course, Dream Pocket is here. Nicholas Rickson, thank you for coming on by. Cyberdog, good to see you again. Memory Design, thank you for being here. And let's see, I know Luna Coverdale is lurking around somewhere, our wonderful program director here at KSWV Neon X Radio. And, of course, you're in the chat, Heartbeat Hero. Let's see, who else is in here? It scrolls. Ooh, Jerry McFly. Thank you for coming on by, Jerry McFly. Thank you for coming on by. Great to see you. Let's see if I see anyone else. Bending Grid was here in the chat.
Yeah, he was
really
here.
Talking off the chat. Thank you for
Scott Forte as well.
Yes, our founder. So, yeah, I get asked that all the time. Guys, I did not start RetroSynth. Scott Forte started RetroSynth. He took me on as an artist. I was labelless. I did not have a label, and I came on board as a package deal with Roxy Drive and Tally Dennerstein, and we kind of kicked it off that way. I was just an artist, and then him and I got friendly, and then he discovered what I did for a living. So he said, dude, I need you to help me grow the label, and the rest is history. So if I'm missing anyone in the chat, I apologize. I don't see any. Oh, Brandon McCool was here. Brandon McCool, thank you for being here as well. And Rosso Destro. Yes.
Rogo Destro.
Rogo Destro is here. Yes, welcome. Thank you for being here. Everybody, please be sure to do that cool YouTube thing. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that cool little bell notification so that you don't miss any of our notifications whenever I go live or whenever Dave or Warren goes live or anybody else that goes live. I can tell you, Mr. Miami Nights is looking to have his own program here on the RetroSynth Records YouTube channel, so don't want to miss that. So be sure that you subscribe and hit that bell. All right, so without further ado, have a wonderful rest of your evening, everyone. Have a safe and healthy weekend. I will catch you all next week on Wednesdays for Wacky Submission Wednesdays with Dan, Heartbeat Hero. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
Don't you turn around.